Hi Aries, welcome to your November reading. And this is a reading for Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising for November 2021. And Aries, as always, I already have your cards here in front of me that I got from the pre shuffle. And I have to say that before I opened the cards, while I was shuffling your cards, I was thinking about the sun. The sun, also I have a very strong sun here. I think you can see the sun rays hitting here, hitting my hand. It's a beautiful morning, a beautiful Sunday morning. But I was thinking about the sun, and at the moment that I am recording this reading, the sun has just moved into Scorpio 1 to 2 days ago. And Scorpio rules your natural eighth house. So when the sun moves into our eighth house, everything that it regards our subconscious mind, actually, yeah, subconscious mind, what we know but we don't really want to deal with right now, you know, those things in the that we keep in boxes hidden in the corner. So think about it as your house and think that you just have those boxes and it's full of stuff that you know you need to deal with, but you're not particularly fun to deal with them right now. When the sun moves into our eighth house, we are confronted with the need to check in on those things. So psychological work, therapeutical work, and traumas and everything that we try to push and not deal with it right now, and also especially that we try to hide from other people. It's not hidden from us, we know that they are there, but we don't really want other people to acknowledge them. When the sun moves into our eighth house, we are confronted with the need to work on those things. And some of the things that we want to keep hidden from other people, they might also even come to the surface because we are also more emotionally charged. The sun is in Scorpio, so it's harder to hide from our own emotions. We might try to hide it from other people because Scorpio is also a very secretive sign. It's a very private sign and very deep. So we don't feel comfortable sharing those things with other people. We might feel the need to hide them to ourselves. But with the sun moving into the eighth house, we might feel like situations are showing to other people things that we don't want them to see about us. Okay? We might have emotional reactions that we are not completely comfortable doing in the open. So this can be a very emotionally charged month for you. I'm feeling this energy of being a very emotionally charged. So I just wanted to share that with you first. So we are going to open up the cards that represent you this month, the energy that you're embodying this month, and the card that represents the environment around you, the people around you, okay? Okay, we have the High Priestess here in your energy, and it's pretty much what I've been talking about. The High Priestess is a lot about uncovering what is beyond the veil. She hides, she doesn't hide, she protects the secrets. Okay, this is the archetype of the High Priestess. All those, the information that we need to really work to acquire. Okay, the hidden mysteries of life, they are protected by the High Priestess. Because, and I'm being called to the key, she has a key around her neck. The key to knowledge comes with a price many times. And this is the energy that you are embodying this month. There is a price to be paid in order to acknowledge some parts of yourself. And I think that with the sun in Scorpio, this price to be paid has a lot to do with humility, of being humbled. Sometimes we need to be humble to ourselves, of our own limitations, of what we are not completely ready about. Sometimes we are confronted with our own lower nature, and there needs to be a lot of humility to face that we are not as evolved as we thought we were, that we are not as spiritual as we thought we were, that we are not as emotionally centered as we thought we were, maybe not as empathetic as we thought we were. We are confronted with facets of ourselves that really go against what we want to believe about our own nature. So I see a lot of this internal work, internal psychological work going on this month for you, especially for everybody, because Scorpio will bring that up in all of our lives, right? When the sun moves into Scorpio, we are all confronted with these mysteries about ourselves, but for you, especially since it's happening in your eighth house. Okay, so there is this need to look into ourselves with humility and accept that, yeah, maybe I am not as emotionally mature as I thought I was. Maybe I'm not as accepting as I thought I was. I was or I were. Okay, I'm sorry for my English, but yeah, I'm not completely sure right now what is the correct one. But well, I'm not as emotionally mature as I think I am. Let's put it in the present like that. We can be confronted with many of these truths about ourselves. Okay? And in the environment, we have the Queen of Cups. And I really love this. I actually love the Queen of Cups coming for you. And I don't see the Queen of Cups here as a very broad environment, I see the Queen of Cups here as more of a community, a very close community, or even a person in particular. I feel like you do have someone in your life, and this could be a female figure, or if this is not a woman, this can be just someone with a very feminine energy right now, which is very receptive and very nurturing. Someone who will be very accepting towards you, who will tell you, hey, it's okay. It's okay that you are still working on all of those things. It's okay that you're not yet there. It's fine. I accept you and I love you as you are. And I think that it's very important to have this kind of people in our lives, to surround ourselves with people with this Queen of Cups energy here. This is a person who makes space for you to be yourself without feeling guilty of being where you are in this moment. There is a quality of unconditional acceptance coming through this person. Because I also see here, and this is interesting because this is not something that we have in the Rider-Waite image of the Queen of Cups, but in this card, she has a yin and yang here. Actually, I point to the opposite, the yin and yang. She has a black fish and a white fish, and they are swimming around her. So there is this balance of, there is always a bit of good in bad, and there's always a bit of bad in good, and you don't need to be perfect. She accepts the duality of things. That's the thing. So whoever this person is in your life, and if you don't know this person yet, this could be someone who is coming in, but I don't feel that. I don't feel like this is a new person. For most of you, this is the energy that I'm picking up. I don't feel like this is a new person. I feel like this is someone whom you already know, maybe a dear friend, or maybe some sort of emotional support that you have in your life. But in any case, the reason why this person doesn't judge you going through these things and accept that you are in your part of the process, in the part of the process that you are at right now, is because this person intrinsically understands the duality of life. They know that doesn't matter what you do, that's not who you are. Those are actions that you're doing. So if you do good actions, good deeds, that doesn't mean that you are completely good, that you are a completely good person. And if you do bad things, that doesn't mean that you are a bad person either. Those are just behaviors that are coming out in certain situations, but they don't define you. And no one is 100% this thing or that one. So this is a very accepting person that you have in your life. And I'm very happy that you have someone like that, because I think they will really help you in this process and in this month of shedding these things about yourself, but also not being so judgmental and so critical about yourself, because we don't always see ourselves with this dual mentality here of the Queen of Cups. Many times, if we make one mistake, we just bash ourselves so harshly for having done that, as if that says that we are a horrible person for one tiny mistake. And I think that this will be a month in which you will struggle a lot with self-criticism. Okay, lots of messages already coming up, and I didn't even check the other card. So let's take a look at the rest of your reading, okay? Yeah, see? Wow, this is beautiful. Like, I already think that this is such a beautiful combination. I think that you will be wrapping up so many things this month, And these things are very internal, a lot of internal work. I don't see a lot of external conflicts coming in. I really feel like this is a month of an internal battle. Wow, here she is again, right in the middle of your reading. We have the High Priestess again. The High Priestess, sorry. We have the Strength in the reverse. Yeah. Okay. Wow, beautiful. And we close up with the Star. I said this will be a month for you to really shed a lot to start December, when the Sun will move into your ninth house with the Sun in Sagittarius. That will be a moment of expansion, but first we need to let go. This is a very Eight of Cups energy for me. Even though we don't have the Eight of Cups here, I get this strong feeling of you will leave internal struggles behind this month in order to start expanding yourself. There will be a beginning of new cycles in December, but right now you're still wrapping up things. And well, I'm not gonna jump ahead, but actually I'm feeling very connected with my intuition at this very moment. And when I look at your reading, it's even hard to go card by card, because the whole reading is jumping up to me as one big story, and it feels like I can't really summarize the story in the cards. I need to summarize it as a whole, but I will try to go through each card so that it makes a more coherent narrative for you. So we open up here with this, with the Emperor in the reverse, the Nine of Swords in the reverse here, and the World card. This is so much of you abandoning things of your lower nature. And I think that what you're leaving behind here has a lot to do with a need for control. The Emperor in the reverse here is relinquishing control, and actually we have that twice in the Strength in the reverse. What areas in your life do you feel like you need to be absolutely in control of things in order to feel safe? And I know that it's scary. It's very scary. It comes like this, okay? Actually, let's look at it like this. It's very scary to let go of control. Very scary. We feel like we are being taken over. We feel like we might be annihilated if we are not up to everything that is going on. If we don't control the people in our lives, if we don't get them to act the way that we expect them to act, if we don't get the outcomes that we expect, that we want, or that we think that we want, if we don't get people to promise us the outcome that we want just in order to be safe, many times we might not even want that result ourselves, but we think that if we control it and if we get people to want it, then we are going to feel safe. And it's so hard and so scary to relinquish that control. It's so scary to just let things be and accept that we cannot be in control of everything. It's very scary. And for some of you, this can also be the other way around. If you are someone who is very afraid of being in control of situations. So this could come up, for instance, just an example for some of you, and for each one of you, this will happen in a very different way. After all, this is a general reading, and not every Aries out there are going through exactly the same thing, right? But for some of you, this could be the other way around. If you are someone, let's say, so using an example of a workplace, if you're not comfortable being in the lead, being in the spotlight, being the leader in a team, for instance. If you like to just be the pawn, the worker, and have a manager telling you everything what you should be doing, and then you're offered a promotion, and this can feel very scary because you just don't feel comfortable being in that leadership position. You prefer to follow other than lead. But you are Aries. You have a strong Aries placement in your chart. So you might be asked to take on that leadership role. And that can also feel very scary. So whatever case it is, if you are used to being in control, or if you are very scared of being in control, whatever it is, this is a pattern that is being asked here to be shed, to be destroyed. And even though this will feel very scary at first, with this Nine of Swords here in the reverse, I see that once you let it go, it will actually release you from so much anxiety. It's the other way around. It's not as you think. You think that you need to keep this habit or this pattern in order to feel safe, but actually it's the other way around. It's when you're completely able to release it that you'll see that all that anxiety that you are feeling will be released as well. And this is a major wrap up of some shadow work that you have been doing here. So I would tell you that whatever this is talking about, this is something that started months and months ago. Okay? Oh, and I didn't even realize, but we just had also the full moon in Aries. So yeah, indeed you are closing up chapters here. The full moon happened in your zodiac. So it was aspecting either your sun, your ascendant, or your moon by maybe a large degree, but it was picking up on those areas of your life, very personal areas. So this for me started many months ago, maybe 6 months ago, when we had the new moon in Aries. But you are wrapping it up now. So whatever shadow work you started this year, this is the month in which you see the results, in which you say, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. I need to let it go now. And again, that need to control. So actually, I do feel like for most of you, for some of you, it can be the fear of being in the spotlight. But I think that for most of you, the fear is of losing control. And for many of you, this way of controlling situations can be also very passive, can be through either passive aggression or emotional manipulation. It can be for some of you, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not nice to hear that, but it can be that. Because the Seven of Swords happens pretty much in the background. It's not an open betrayal. This card tells the story of a man who breaks into an army camp in the middle of the night and steal their swords so that they lose the battle the next day. But he does that in the middle of the night. He does that when no one is watching. So this is not a behavior that is done in the open. This is a behavior that is done in the background. But this need to be always in control, this need to be manipulative, to get things your way, even if you put out the image that you're not really doing that, this is a behavior that needs to be shed. And I think that with this High Priestess in opening your reading as yourself, and also here in the middle of your reading, very powerful position, you won't have a choice. This is something that you will have to accept now. You won't have a choice. Because the thing is, the feeling that I get is that either you let go of it, or this will bring repercussions in your life. You will be caught. That's the thing. That's what I see happening here. You will be caught on it, and you will be called out in your behavior. So sometimes we need to, and again, this is the lesson of Scorpio. The lesson of Scorpio is about being humble, to accept your lower nature, to accept that we are not as good as we think we are. That we have things to work on. We need humility to see beyond the veil. We need humility to see who we really are, and to know that, as I said in the beginning, just because we do things and we act in ways that we are not proud of, that doesn't mean that we aren't a good person. That doesn't mean that we don't have good qualities. It's a balance of bad and good qualities. And then we burn and we transform those bad qualities. The same time that we nurture, we fertilize those good ones. But we need to focus on both parts of the process. So as I said, and the same message is split all over the reading, it's a matter of relinquishing control. Not fighting. Not fighting, because the strength here, this is her lower nature. She is controlling, she is wrapping up that lower nature. But what I see here is more of accepting it and releasing it. It's not trying to control our bad deeds. It's not trying to control that part of us. It's accepting it. Accepting that that's what we are right now. That's where we are right now. Not what we are, sorry. Where we are right now. This is part of who we are. There are reasons for that, and we are working on it, but it is what it is. So instead of trying to just shut it down, pretending that it's not there, because we cannot face the fact that we do these things, we need to accept ourselves. This is a month for self-love as well, accepting where we are. Being humble about it. And then burning it down. Scorpio lesson. This is the karma of Scorpio. And again, not fighting. We see it over and over and over again. Not fighting. When I see this combination, the Justice in the reverse with the Knight of Swords in the reverse, what I see is someone saying, but this is so unfair. So I see this quality of complaining a bit, of complaining about the work that needs to be done. Oh, but this is so unfair. I'm being misjudged. I'm not this horrible person. Like, no, of course you're not this horrible person. I'm not saying that you are. What I'm saying is that we are all a combination of good and bad deeds. Everybody. Everybody. So it's important to understand why it's so hard to accept that we are not perfect at times. Why is it so hard to accept that? I don't think you are in the Justice in the reverse here. I think that this is how you want to see things. Or that you have been wanting to see things for a long time. But ultimately, this month is leading you towards the star, towards true healing. And true healing comes from seeing ourselves as we are. She's naked here. She has nothing to hide. This is all she is. So this is seeing oneself as we truly are, naked, without masks, without anything to cover up. And just accepting our own nature. And knowing that we are beautiful the way we are. It's okay not to be perfect. There is beauty in imperfection as well. We are all striving to grow, to learn, to be better. But no one is there. So there's also no need to compare ourselves with other people, right? Full moon, Libra, and Aries. There's no need to compare ourselves with other people. We can be our own unique self, Aries. It's very happy, it's very proud being unique. We don't need to fit in. We don't need to be like other people. And then we find our own healing when we find ourselves and when we accept ourselves. And as I said, I know that this was a harsh message in many times here, but as I said, you are not alone in this process. This Queen of Cups here is helping you through it. It's giving you support, and it's helping you love yourself and helping you see yourself the way that she sees you. Because she accepts you. She accepts your duality. She accepts the good and the bad in you. So she will teach you that you can accept that as well. And that you are beautiful, having those two sides of yourself. That actually it is this duality that makes us beautiful and unique. Okay, Aries, so let's get some oracle cards for you. And actually, I wanted to get this card in the beginning, but I forgot. Because we saw that you are the High Priestess. So you're coming in, embodying this energy of the High Priestess. But what energy should you embody with this high priestess to help you through the process? So let's see, I'm gonna get an animal spirit to see what energy you could, wow, wow, the vulture. And you don't get more scorpionic than the vulture. I remember that in the book, it says nothing goes to waste. Okay, so this process, everything that you are going through, it doesn't go to waste. The vulture eats carcasses. And carcasses, death, rotten meat is very platonic, right? This is Pluto in its most raw form. For me, dead animals, dead carcasses in a field, that is Pluto. Okay, that's the cycle of life. An animal dies in a field, and I'm not talking about killing an animal, okay? I'm talking about an animal naturally dying in a field. But an animal naturally dies in a field. That's the cycle of life, and that body will rotten and fertilize the ground so that new plants can grow and feed the next animals. So this is all a cycle, and the vulture is part of that cycle. The vulture also eats from the carcass. So that body that died in there, it doesn't go to waste. Life doesn't end when the body dies. It is transformed and it feeds other forms of life, like the vulture here. So don't be afraid of this death process that is happening this month, that is being wrapped up this month. Because this death process that is happening inside of you is happening to feed new sides of you. It's happening so that other parts of you can grow and flourish. It's a fertilizer. Okay? So, wow, this is a very powerful message here, Aries. Very powerful month for you. Very, very. And this is beautiful. So let's get one last oracle card for you, because I feel like your reading talked a lot. There was just so much information, and I don't feel the need to get many oracle cards for you this month. Wow. Yeah, see, indeed, you cannot pretend these things, right? You cannot make this shit up. What do you need to release? Waning moon. What do you need to release, Aries? I don't have much else to say to you. This is just a confirmation that everything that we have been talking about for the last almost 30 minutes, that's it. This is a month of shedding. This is a month of release and accepting that. And accepting that that's a natural process of life, a natural cycle. Okay, Aries, so that's all I have for you, and I hope you enjoyed your reading. And if you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, because it really helps the channel to grow and be shown to more people on YouTube. So I'll see you next month. Take care, and bye-bye.